And we are live again.
Hello,
Hello, hello,
hello,
Belinda.
hello. So
How are
awesome to
you?
see you.
Oh, good to see you too. How are you?
Good, good, thanks.
Oh, nice. Hello, everyone. Hello, Craft Eccentricity. Good morning.
That's
Robert,
quite a name. Roberta, hello.
Roberta, hello. Selena,
Selena,
hello, everyone.
hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hope everyone will have fun with us today.
Yes, we're
Hello.
doing fast cards.
Yes, perfect. Finally, with your collection, Lady Vagabond, so exciting. Hello,
Yes, so
hello.
a lot of people don't have the time to make these big, elaborate, fancy box cards, pop-up cards, exploding cards, collapsing cards. I don't know. You know that these cards that take hours and hours and hours, they're like a gift in themselves, and then
Mhm.
people just put them in the bin. Yes, true story.
Hello,
I've heard
David.
people spending hours making cards. They go to visit a friend after their birthday and the cards like not on display or anything. I mean, normally these big fancy cards are meant to be kept as like I wouldn't say an ornament, but like a display piece.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one of my friends even found her card in the dustbin, like the same day that she even was still there. Like her friend opened her gift, opened her
No.
card. Oh wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. After tea or after dinner, I can't remember what it was. She went into the kitchen for something and went to throw something away, and there was her card in the dustbin. Well, she took it out, and that friend never got one of those fancy cards again.
Well, for sure.
It has happened.
Oh
Sad
my God,
story.
that's so rude. Oh my
And
God.
you saying, hello, Oma. Yes,
Thank you
Sharon, you
so
can
much.
join
It is
me.
reminding you guys to share and like these lives to win a pizza box. Like every week, we will announce the new winner every Monday. So just share and like these lives. Thank you so much for all the love. Thank you.
Always on a Monday. So you got to make sure you also watch on a Monday because it's so nice to be in the crowd when your name is there. It's like, ah.
Yes, sometimes it happened to us that we announced the winner, but no one wrote us. Like,
Oh,
yeah, yes, we didn't receive any reply from the winner. So guys, just be sure to watch the live on
watch
Monday.
on a Monday. Like if you've gone to all that effort to like and share the videos, make sure you watch on a Monday. And if you know someone who has won, tag them. Send them a
Yes,
message. Who doesn't want to receive their pizza box? Wow.
yes, we are always trying to write to that person like, "Hey, you are the winner," but sometimes we didn't receive any reply because maybe we are in message requests or in spam.
Yes, because on Facebook Messenger, if you're not that person's friend, it goes into this funny little mailbox
Yes.
and yeah, they might not see it. Check your
Mm-hmm.
messages, people.
Yes. Check your request, guys. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, Gloria. Hello,
Hello, hello.
hello, everyone.
Gracie. Everybody's in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Coming
Nice.
in. People are saying good morning. It's good afternoon here in
For
Europe. In
us.
Australia, it's good night. So
Yeah. Also,
wherever you are, hello.
also in Budapest, it's afternoon. Okay, we are on the same time, I
Yes, we're on
think.
the same time zone, you and me.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your fast cards, or would you like to change your camera? How?
Okay, so yes, I will change my camera while you play a video and
Yeah, okay.
then I will show everybody what I have
Okay.
here.
See you in a minute.
Do you know our Facebook group Stampers Worldwide? The place where you can post your creations, ask for advices, and make new friends. And above all, an incredible source of inspiration. Subscribe now and join Stampers Worldwide group. It's for free. We're waiting for you.
Okay, and here we are. Okay, you are
Yay, we
in
can
the
see
computer
that Dave.
screen.
This is a new camera, so I just hope it behaves itself. It
Okay.
seems to want to be slipping to one side, so I'm just going to try and, without making you seasick, make it behave. Okay. Yes, because for some reason, I don't know why, my phone decided that it was no longer going to let me hear you on the other side when I use my phone. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So it's, yeah. So I've got a
Okay.
new webcam. And
Nice.
the nice thing is also with the webcam, it will allow me to come up nice and close with things. So
Mhm.
it's quite exciting
Yeah, it just takes a few seconds to focus when
to
you put
refocus, yes, when I
something.
move. So
Okay,
just,
perfect. Now it's fine. We
okay.
can
So
start.
this glaringly yellow envelope is the only one that I had in this size. So I thought I would start, seeing as we're going to be making fast cards. Fast cards for me need to be fairly flat, fairly simple, and they need to fit in an envelope. So I've
Mhm.
got various different envelopes here in different sizes. So I've got, this is a 6x6 envelope, so you can send a 6x6 size card. I know in some countries it's more expensive for some reason to send a square card. I have no idea
Oh,
why, but it doesn't fit the system. Then these are your more standard size cards. These are what's called a C6, and then this is what's called a DL. So
okay.
I thought what I would do is start off just with the actual envelopes because a lot of card makers obviously post their things. I know it's not, it's about the only thing that goes in the post, that and invoices, bills, bills and invoices. So it's something that I like to send. I like to post people cards so that it's something that we receive because I'm afraid with the internet now, with Facebook and
Mm,
WhatsApp, you send a friend a message, just a quick text or a something like that. But it is so special to receive what I call
yeah.
snail mail. So what I'm going to do is just I've got some pre. This is just normal A4 cardstock, and I know in different countries, especially America, they have a slightly different size. They have what's called a letter size, and it is slightly bigger. But I'm working with A4 because that's what I've got to hand, and I am not using anything fancy. It is just some cheap cardstock that I get at a local, almost like a dollar store,
Mm-hmm.
and it is 300 GSM. And then I've got various others that I work with. So I like the thicker one for the base because then you can put quite a few layers of paper on top and it doesn't warp. So
Nice.
um,
Perfect.
I told you before, I am trimmer challenged. These paper trimmers. I'm paper trimmer challenged. So I use a guillotine. This thing is about 30 years old because that's how long I've been crafting. I first
Wow.
started crafting when I was in high school, and my first thing I made was cards with rubber stamps. So I just need to move a few things. So that's actually my origin of when I started crafting. I just want you to be
Wow.
able to see my measurements here. And so in to make one of these cards, you basically need half an A4. So I'm going to cut the piece of paper in half and then you will be able to fold that in half because obviously you don't want your card to fill the envelope. It needs to be smaller than the envelope so it can slide in and out easily. So if you've got one A4 and you cut it in half, you will get two A5 cards, or what's called an A6. So if you're working with paper, the bigger the number, the smaller the card. So an A0, if you ever see A0, that is like poster size. That is like huge. It's almost like a single bed.
Yeah.
Then you get A1, which is half of that. Then you get A2, A3. A3 is kind of a common size. Photostat machines can do A3. And then, of course, A4 that I'm working with. A5 is half of A4, which is what I've just done. then this is known as A6. And I know that this confuses people because they think that the smaller the piece of paper, the
Mhm.
smaller the number should be. But no, it starts with the biggest number, biggest size piece of paper with the A0 with the lowest numbers. So of course I can get 2 cards out of this.
Okay.
Um, so there I have 2 card bases. And then for the DL envelope, that's normally it's the one with the windows in that you get all your bills, the not so popular
Mhm.
one. But you can make a really nice long card. And what I'm going to do is my piece of paper here. So this is, I've got these markings on here. That's for a full A4. But if you turn it sideways and you put it on the A4 marking on that side, means you will wind up making a square. And for some reason this paper is not quite straight.
Oh,
Um,
Cindy is saying it's like needles. Larger number gauge is small needle. I didn't know also for
oh
needles.
wow, okay. Can you tell neither of us knit?
I didn't know.
Knitting is not my thing. We tried
No,
it in school,
for sure.
and the one thing we had to make in class was a pot holder, for grabbing your hot pot off the stove. It had to be a little square and there was going to be a ring in the corner. Well, my mom could never use her piece because there were more holes in my knitting than there was wool. So I am not a good not a good knitter. So there we go. So basically, having taken your A4 sheet, so it's basically the measurement of your A4 that way again. So you have a card, fold it in half, and you have the perfect size for your DL envelope. Of course, if you are working with a standard A4, your A4 is it's less than 30 centimeters. So if you're gonna, if you look at a 12 by 12 ruler, and this is where I'm wanting to be able to come up close, you can see that the 12 inches it finishes, and in fact they started here. So your 30 centimeters is much smaller than your 12 inches. So your card for your 6 by 6 envelope is going to be slightly smaller than a 6 by 6 piece of paper. And I'm lucky that on this one, I have both 6 inches and centimeters. So what I normally do is cut my card to the 6 inch mark, or not the 6 inch mark. The 6 inch mark is just past the um, half an A4 mark, and then you can fold your card in half, and then you have the perfect square.
Oh, perfect.
So a lot of people have these paper cutters and so on, and they also have these markings on. So I've been using the traditional markings on my guillotine for that. And then of course you're left with these offcuts, and these are great for stamping on and working on later. So let me
Hmm.
get this monster off my desk.
Is it heavy?
Put it away before it falls on my foot. Hello, hello,
Hello,
Belinda.
Milenka. Hello. Hello, everyone who's joining us now.
Okay, so now I have my card bases, which I'm going to put on one side. I very seldom actually work straight onto my card base
Mhm.
because 9 times out of 10, I will mess ink, I will mess something. So I put those on one side out of the way. And I like to work on what I call card toppers.
Mhm.
Um, So I have pre-prepared and cut a whole lot for you guys today because you don't want to be watching me using the guillotine all day, I'm sure. So what I have done for the 6 by 6, for the C6 size card, is I have cut a black frame that is the size of the card, so that will fit perfectly on the card, the black, and then the brown, and this is just craft stock, is ever so slightly smaller so that it frames the card nicely. So that's a quick trick just to give a really nice finish to your card. So I've prepared a whole lot of those in advance. And then what I've also done, and this is a total cheat, I know, but you know, those of you who have scissors at home, fussy cutting is the way to go. If you have a brother, and I'm not talking about a sibling, I have a machine that can fussy cut my stamps for me. So check
Whoa,
Bozo.
it's so cute.
He's so cute.
I will take down the. Oh, that's so nice.
So what I've actually done is I have used my Lady Vagabond stamps. So I will give you the codes. The one with the lady on is WTKCC189. Let's see if we can get that.
Okay.
Focus. There we go. Oh, I'm loving this new camera. It focuses. And I've written girl there simply because I obviously often have both lots of my packaging out. And then I don't want to get them mixed up. And then the one with the airship is WTKCC190.
190. Perfect. I posted them in the comments.
Thank you. So those are the two main stamp sets that I have worked with here. And the other thing I'm going to be working with is stencils, but I just thought I would do some, it's a slightly different technique with you guys today. And one thing I've noticed about the craft paper, and it doesn't matter which brand you buy, you know, this was just, again, from the dollar store. It's just cheap cardstock. It is a slightly different side on one side than the other. And I have chosen to use what I call the warmer side. This is a slightly more blue side. This is a slightly more orange side. Every brand will be different. And that's the side I'm going to be working on. And I'm going to start by working with my airship. And what I'm going to do is grab my, you need a block. And I'm going to let's just take these out. And I'm going to grab my airship. So these are sticky. So these are not like Antoni's. These are your traditional rubber stamps that are sticky. And they stick nicely to a block. And then you need a black ink pad. You could, of course, stamp in any color you like. These ink pads, everybody has them in lots of different colors. This is just a permanent ink that I'm using. And
Omar in the comments is posting your group, your Facebook group, Belinda's Creative Inspiration.
Thank you, Omar. Yes, he's often in there commenting and loving everybody's work. So yes, I have a group, like Stamperia has a group, Stampers Worldwide. I have my own group for those of you who have purchased Lady Vagabond products and create projects. I would love you to post them in that group to inspire everybody. It's really awesome to see everybody's work there. So
I have also all of your links to your your Facebook page, your group, etc. And I will post all the links in the comments so our friends can follow you on your social media, on your blog,
thank you.
on
Yes,
Pinterest,
because
etc.
every Tuesday and Thursday, my design team do a post. So I post it in Stampers Worldwide, and I post it in my group and on my Instagram. And of course, my designers, my team also post there as well on their own social media. So I just need to move something before I send my computer calling. I need a bigger desk or a bigger floor.
We have your.
I'm always putting things on my blog. Thanks. Yes, that's the Facebook page where I have all the products. There's no projects there, but there are the videos and things. So yes, that's
Blog.
my Facebook
This is
page.
your blog.
And I have a blog, yes, and that's my group. Yeah, so there's lots of different places to find inspiration.
Oh,
So what I'm doing now is I'm just these are just watercolor pencil crayons that have high pigmentation, and I love working on the different color paper to accent um, and highlight, because most people stamp on white paper. That's kind of expected. Um, and I really love the way that working on the craft paper just is so different. You can do almost like a sepia look with
yeah.
the craft. Do you know what I mean by sepia look? You know those old fashioned photographs that are just in different shades of brown. Um, so you can shade in different shades of brown on here, or grays. Do what's called monochrome. Um, and
Oh, we have many people that are already follow your group and they are saying that it's amazing.
oh, thank you. Yes, there's a lot of amazing projects in there. It's so inspiring to see what everybody is doing. Oh, thanks, Monica. So I'm not going to do much more on here with the white other than I'm going to highlight the flag, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that piece and I'm going to color here. So now I don't need, now somewhere I had one that my brother didn't cut so nicely, this one. I didn't stamp it so well, so it lost the flag. So I'm
Oh,
actually going to cut this one out, and I'm just going to cut the roof out like so, and cut the wings off, because I'm going to, that's why I just stamped and colored the wings on the card, on the card base, because now I will be able to use this bit, and I'm not going to, in fact I'm going to chop it all um, at the bottom of the crow's nest. Don't need those bits. Perfect. Now I'm going to color this. So you can color any colors you like, but of course Lady Vagabond has, her house has a purple roof, so I don't know many houses that have a purple roof, but this is a fantasy house, so it can have any color you like. And of course, if you are doing a card for a specific person who likes a specific colorway, you can choose whatever color combination you like. So you don't have to stick to the colors that are in the Lady Vagabond line. You can make them up to suit yourself. That's the joy of working with stamps, is you're not stuck with the colors that it came with. And of course, she has a red roof on her turret. And
so these are the signature colors of Lady Vagabond.
these are, yeah, signature. Well, the nice thing is with all Stamperia's things, no matter what you do, all the colors work across the different lines. So you can mix and match and um, make things up to suit whatever you are combining. And I'm just going to put a bit of red there, a bit of red there. Now I'm going to use some pale yellow to bring out the airship over here.
Tunde is asking what type of pencil are you using?
It's a Lyra Rembrandt aquarelle.
Ah, okay.
Um, so it has high pigmentation. You know, your children's coloring crayons, you can't go and steal those because those generally don't color as well on this dark cardstock. But it's so you need a fairly good artist grade pencil crayon. And now I'm also going to grab a brown and give this a little bit of depth in here. This one's a little bit more red than I would like, so I'm not going to use a lot. And I'm going to repeat some down here in the shadow areas.
I posted also your Instagram and your YouTube channel in the comments if people want to follow you also there. So now they have everything about you. They can write
I can't
report about
hide.
social
You can
media.
run, but you can't hide. They know where I, yeah. So again, I post all my design team's lovely projects there. And if you find my Instagram, there are links to, and I have that that bio, that smart bio that helps to everybody can find the links. So I'm just giving a little bit of highlights to things to make them pop out a little bit. So you can see, obviously, if you're working at home, you have more time. And I know we did say this would be fast cards, so we're not wanting to go too, I'm not wanting to do too much work here. And there is steam that comes out of there. So I'm just going to put some steam coming out of there and maybe a little bit of blue in the windows just to show a little bit of reflection and to repeat colors up there. Perfect. So now I am happy with what I have added to that. And I will be able to add it on top of this. But I want some more interest and things going on here. So I am going to just tear this a little bit just to give it another dimension on this side. And
Jane is asking, just wondering what would you use if it was shrink plastic? Would it be paint, crayons, or ink markers?
I have found that the crayons work really well. Stamperia's alcohol inks work really, really well. So yes, I have used these on the shrink plastic, and that does work well. Okay, so I have got my base here, and I'm going to just scratch in my collection of things behind here. I'm looking for my foam tape because I just want to raise this up. To give that a little bit more dimension. And line it up with what's underneath. So that just helps to give a little bit of interest, but it doesn't take that long.
Oh, but it's so cute. All that details. It's really pretty.
And now I'm going to put that on one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few things to this stage, and then I'm going to do what I call a factory line. I'm going to put them all together at the end. So I've got that one that far, and I'm going to put it on one side. Then I'm going to do, and so you didn't have to see me color this one again. I have pre-colored this Lady Vagabond house. And I'm going to show you how I created this background. So I wanted it to look like she was flying off in her airship in the night. So I took just the normal plain black cardstock, and I'm going to protect my desk with a piece of white paper because me and splattering, I am not the best splatter person. I have splatter on my computer. In fact, my husband was doing maintenance on my laptop the other day, and I've got
No.
aqua spray on my screen that will not come off. He's not impressed with me. So I'm going to just use, and I'm using a little bit of old ivory, which is KAL50. You can use white, you can use whatever you like. I just find white, for my personal liking, a little too stark. Um, so in contrast to the black, and I'm just going to put, I've got some water off screen, I'm putting a little bit there, and I'm diluting some of the Allegro paint, which is a matte. Um, it dries matte, this paint. And I'm using one of Stamperia's very long bristle brushes. So you'll notice that it's got quite a lot of bristles. It's almost like in the art world we would call a rigger, but it's not quite long enough. KR76 stroke S, it's the number 2. And I like this one because it's got nice floppy bristles for doing this. So it's, you tap, and I haven't got enough water in there. It's not
Oh, I love this effect with for the stars and the
yes.
background. It's great.
Um, and the more runny you make it, and the more you load your brush. So it's also better if you, so where I was tapping it with this finger, and I'm getting those sort of what I call drag marks, and I just want the dots.
Yeah, but
So
still they seems like the constellation like Taurus, Aquarius. This is,
yes, we can have our own. We can have the Lady Vagabond constellation.
oh, but it would be so nice. It's a great idea actually.
My own, my own star sign.
Yeah.
That is enough. I'm going to put that on one side. Okay, so
Oh, that's great.
while, so that's enough, I think. And
Great.
it's going to take a little while to dry. And while that is drying, I'm going to prepare this little sign, Escape the Ordinary. And for that, I'm going to use my offcuts that I have from when I made some cards. So I have just a black piece, and I'm going to use this stamp. So it's on the same stamp set as the airship. And Stamperia has a lovely clear stamp pad. Um, and I'm looking for the code. Where is the code? Hmm?
Oh, the
GHS07. Okay, so
GHS07.
yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I'm inking this up so it's clear, and it's not going to look like anything when I stamp it either, because that's also going to be clear. So it looks like I've done nothing, absolutely nothing. The magic will happen now when you pour the, I've got the copper embossing powder on it,
Whoa.
and that is, it's so small, I can't see. I think the code must be on the bottom, and it's so tiny I can't see it without a magnifying glass. Um, so, and then if you have, like here, I didn't anti-static my paper. I'm just going to use a paintbrush to get rid of the excess. Because where these little plastic bits stick, they will melt, they won't blow away. So I'm just making sure that get rid of any excess. And before I even start heating process, I'm going to pop this back into the jar. And so you can use any heat tool, but all are actually the same temperature. Some just take a little longer than others. So when you've used these embossing powders, the trick is to hold it at an angle so that you can see when it starts going shiny, and then you can move on. So once it starts going shiny, you can move along. And I don't know if you can see the magic happening there.
A little bit, yes, because the quality
So
of the camera is really
you can
good.
see, mm,
Yeah,
no, you're
it's
not
trying
really
to
able to
focus.
see whether the one side is melted or not. So as it goes along, it melts and gives you this beautiful shine.
Oh yes, now we see a little bit like this with this light. Yes.
Okay, so now that is all melted, and there. And then I don't really like fussy cutting right up to this, so I just give it a slight border. So this is also what helps with the speed of the card, is you're not trying to cut perfection. You actually want a little bit of that black outline around the stamp so that you can, oh, and because I cut my double-sided tape, it's like left marshmallow behind on my scissors. Um, so it's not perfect. It's not absolutely the same distance from everywhere, but it's enough so that it will separate out the stamped image from Lady Vagabond's airship. Go. So that's
Nice.
ready. And now to create this edge. So I like to repeat things. So when I do anything, whether it's mixed media, scrapbook page, art journal page, I like to repeat patterns, colors, textures, and designs where I can. So the idea is that I'm repeating this color and the texture of the embossing that I've used for the wording. I'm going to use that around the edge. And let's just see how dry this is. It could do with a blast of the heat gun, because if I put the embossing powder on the wet paint, it will stick, which is a technique all in itself. So we just don't want the embossing powder to stick to the wet paint really low. If it does, it's not the end of the world. It'll just give my constellation a different color.
I have one constellation tattooed on my body. It's the Taurus one.
Oh, my husband
Yeah,
is Taurus.
for my granddad.
Oh wow, okay. So now I'm using the ink pad around the edges, and you kind of just have to guess that you are getting ink in various places, because again, it is transparent and you can't really see. So I just want a little bit of ink all the way around the edges. Bring back my piece of paper and pour my embossing powder around the edges.
Sky Blue is saying, I'm liking what I'm seeing already.
Oh, thanks, Sky Blue. Sky Blue is from Indonesia. We have
Oh,
people
nice.
watching from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there we have what I've got from the ink pad. And pull this back in here because that way accidents don't happen. Oops. And I'm going to use a pair of tweezers just to hold it so I can heat gun it. Oh, thanks, Francis. Francis is from Cape Town, my hometown.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, everyone right now is loving all these stars, all this background. It's so cool to emboss the edges. Love it. It's saying Cindy.
Yes, it's just something different. And of course, you can do this if you're a art journal person or a mini journal maker. You can do this technique around the edges of those little journaling cards. Um, it doesn't just have to be for normal cards. It's a great technique to introduce a little bit of something different around the edges. As I said, it's a bit of a guessing game on the black. You're not quite sure what you're going to get, but with a little bit of practice, you do get better at it. Because I want it as random as possible. I don't
Mm.
want like a perfect frame. I'm looking for that interest. It's the same reason why I tore the piece of paper just now. And in fact, I'm going to, while I've got the embossing powder out now, I'm in fact going to emboss that edge as well. Because when I'm doing a set of cards, I quite often do this as a gift for somebody. I will do a whole like matching set and give it in a little box with the envelopes to a person as a birthday present.
Oh, that's nice.
But I do like them to then match. And I quite often then don't put sentiments on because then the person can choose
Mhm.
what sentiments they want. So on this card then, I'm going to take,
Oh, Tina is asking, do you have to use a particular ink when you are embossing?
you do have to use an ink that will dry um, over a long period of time. So it has what's called a long open time. So Stamperia's inks, like even this one, the brown, the colors, um, these have what's called a long open time. Um, so you will have a chance to be able to ink and it won't dry you know, while before you get your powder on. So,
Okay, perfect.
so
Thank you.
this so this is specifically it's a clear ink designed for embossing. So
Oh,
this particular stamp pad is designed for embossing um, specifically. Okay.
Rosario is saying, I never thought to emboss the edges. Way cool.
It's
They
just
are
something
taking some
different.
inspiration also today.
The thing is, I often sit at my desk and I play the what if game. And
Mhm.
what would happen if I ink the edges and put the powder on? Same, I mean, it works on the stamp. Why wouldn't it work? Because the powder is designed to stick to the where the wet ink is and then melt when it's heated. So, and then you have got quite a lot of time. So you could even put this on one side for a while. So you could actually do all your inking and put all your powder on and then do one heat batch. When I did my own wedding invitations, I did that. And I didn't have a heat tool, so I used my toaster. So I would go and to my kitchen with a tray full of invitations, all stamped and full of embossing powder, and then pop my toaster down. And then every time it popped up, it would give me a fright. So I eventually decided, no, that's no fun at all. I need a heat tool.
Well, great. No, it's really really pretty. I love all the details of the castle.
It's just such an amazing image.
Mm-hmm. Really it is.
So much detail, all the little windows. Um, and if you look at the mold, oh my word, on the mold, the every little roof tile and brick, and it's the detail is just mind blowing. What
Yeah.
Stamperia manages to achieve in all their different mediums. So I'm just heating this edge.
We have many friends who are sending you tons of hearts. Rosario is sending you like hundreds of hearts. They are so nice, so sweet.
Oh, look at all the hearts.
Yeah, also Yolanda is sending tons of hearts. Our Terry saying all the details are amazing. Oh, there is Tamar. Hi, Tamar.
Hello, Tamar. Tamar
She,
has done the most amazing project for tomorrow. It's her design team post tomorrow. You don't
Mhm.
want to miss it, people. So, Lucrezia put all the links to all my different
Yes.
groups and social media, and Tamar will post it on hers. Um, so I'm really looking forward to everybody enjoying what Tamar has made for tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we have that. And so, as I said, I'm going to have everything ready. In fact, I'm going to put that one on top of that one because I've already got that one ready. But I feel like this needs a little bit of something else. Um, so I'm going to grab um, a little bit of black ink.
Oh, they are writing me so many emails today.
You're very popular today.
I,
Not me for a change.
I will have to answer to tons of emails after this live.
Okay, I know it looks like all my lovely, pretty outline is just disappearing. Um, but it should come back because I'm just using a water-based ink on this ink pad. And I'm going to grab a wet wipe and it will just remove and bring back the shine that I carefully put on the edge.
I've seen that many people in the comments were saying like that they were scared about embossing things because they didn't know the techniques, etc. But right now they are all saying that they will try for sure this technique after your tips.
Yes, I like things. If I've got something in my stash, it must do more than one thing. So it's obvious that, the embossing powder is designed for working with the stamp. But I've now done it on the torn edge and I have done it around that edge. So there are, you just sometimes have to sit and play and see what you can achieve just by playing with the things that you've got. Okay, so now we are going to move on. Get all this embossing powder off my desk. I seem to have got it. I think I blew it everywhere. Um, Now we're going to get my stencil out, and I'm going to work with this one, and I'm going to work with some leftover black paper, and I'm going to work on the smooth side just because that's the nicest side to work on. And for this, I'm going to use, because these stencils are very thin, you can use them with the texture pastes and so on, but I really like to work with the Tarantica, and Stamperia's little sponges. So Stamperia has a packet of sponges, and they come everything from this enormous one to this nice little one. And as you can see, this is my favorite color. It's nearly finished.
Oh, nice. For next pizzas, I will put inside some some Cerantica in gold, of course.
And the nice thing is with the Tarantica, it's not runny, so it's very hard to mess up stencil work with the Tarantica. And you'll notice I'm spinning it, I'm twisting it like this, and tapping it inside. You can wiggle it around, wiggle it just a little bit. There's always a song in my brain. Now I'm started an earworm for a whole lot of people. Sorry, not sorry. Um, and so obviously, the brighter you want it, the more times you're going to tap into your jar. And for this one, I also want the outside. And because I'm working on a scrap piece, it doesn't matter if it goes into those areas where I'm not going to be, I haven't protected it. So normally if I'm working on something that I don't want to have the other designs coming out, I will mask it off. But because I'm going to be cutting this out, ta-da!
Oh, it's so cute. Oh, look at the
And
color.
it's so nice and shiny on that.
Yes.
And I've lost my scissors. How can I have lost my scissors? What have I put on top of my scissors? They have a purple string on them on purpose so that I don't lose them. Oh, here they are. You see, I have this tiny pair of scissors with the longest ribbon. Why? Because the ribbon always sticks out.
So you won't lose them.
No, because my favorite trick is to put something on top of them. Not intentionally, but it's just, you're working quickly and put something down, and before you know it, the scissors are gone and you just use them. Where on earth
Um,
could they be? And with the purple string sticking out, I always manage to find them. It's like this
I have to
purple
do
string.
this same with my glasses. I'm always losing them. Always.
At least if you lose your cell phone, you can call it. You can't phone a pair of scissors or glasses. There we go. So that's a nice additive for one of my cards. And then, so exactly the same process, steampunk through the journey through steampunk into the future. You can do exactly the same process. I'm not going to make you watch it because I have done a whole lot of preparation. Um, ta-da! It's like a cookie show.
Wow. Great.
But the one that I do want to show everybody how to do is this one, because when you look at the stencil, um, which is not this one, I need to put this one back in my folder. I'm just going to pop it there. I will put it away properly just now. I used this one, which is called Escape the Ordinary. And you'll see that I've got some of this tape on here. And so again, this is just a piece that I have prepared. And I want to be able to have Lady Vagabond over here.
We have some questions for
Mm,
you. Cindy is asking, do you need to seal those?
no, these I did this morning in preparation for today, and it is, if you leave it for at least an hour, it is, or in fact not even that long really, it is permanent. So in
Okay.
fact, you can't even get it off your stencils. So I don't bother to try and wash my stencils. It's so thin so it doesn't clog up the stencils, but it, the Tarantica is permanent when it's dry. And I want to
Okay.
be able to build a scene over here. And if I
Mhm.
use the sentiment as it is,
And also, Agnieszka is asking, how do you clean your stencil once you use Cerantica?
I use Stamperia's alcohol, the 76 with the baby wipe. That is what I've used on that one. It never comes completely clean, but it really actually doesn't matter.
Ah, okay, perfect.
It's not like paint that builds up. Paint gets a density and gets really thick and tends to fill the little spaces. But the
Mhm.
Chromatica is so thin that I haven't had a problem with that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So you'll notice that the sentiment is so long that there's no space to put Lady Vagabond over here. So what I've done is started at the top over there, and I'm using the line over here from the spyglass to keep me straight. And I'm just going to reuse this. This is what's called low tack artist's tape. It's made for working on paper. You can get it here in Germany. You can get it at the hardware stores as well. Um, and so I'm going to just divide this up and put the wording on. So that's what's nice about these thin stencils is you can use them for cards and things for these sentiments. Unlike the thicker stencils, it's more difficult to use them this way. You can, but you need a brush. So now,
In the comments, they are saying that you have the Bermuda Triangle on your desk.
yes, I live in a Bermuda Triangle of my own creation. This is a well-known thing. Anybody who has seen me working or watched me knows that is the whole truth. I can lose something just sitting still. I don't even have to leave my desk. There we go. And move it down.
This contrast between gold and black, it's so nice, really.
It is really quite stunning.
Hmm.
Now I just want the word beautiful. So you'll see each time I'm protecting the rest of my paper, just reusing the tape. So you don't have to use a new piece of tape each time. You can reuse this tape lots and lots of times. And the nice thing is it doesn't stick to your stencil so much that you are afraid that you're going to damage your stencil. Um, so let's find some beautiful. Now we need place to. And you can see it's relatively quick to do this. Doesn't take much time. Does take a little bit of practice perhaps. But if it's not perfect, I don't think the person you've given it to is going to notice or say something. If they do, they're rude and you need new friends. So maybe then you need to send them just that part, get lost. So Craft Your Own has the only the brown ombre. Yes. Um, that you definitely need any one of the metallics. All the metallics are absolutely gorgeous. Um, the pink, funnily enough, is for me the shiniest. The gold, as you can see, is one that I use a lot. So that's how easy it is to just rearrange something on your um, on your card.
Oh, that's great.
Um, and then again, we can now build. We can build a. Sorry, I'm just clearing some of the Bermuda stuff.
We have a question by Yolanda that it's quite interesting. She's asking how you deal with mean comments on internet.
Okay, so question: what do you do if people are jealous of your craft room and give mean comments? You don't have a car or kids, and I don't smoke. Oh, God, thanks, therapy for me. I'm autistic. Oh, I'm afraid, Yolanda, they're just some mean people out there. Yes. I don't smoke either. I do eat chocolate, but it's not as expensive as cigarettes. I don't play golf. These are our hobbies, and yeah, I'm afraid if people are being mean about it, it just means they don't understand.
Oh,
So
yes.
if it's some people just don't get this whole crafting thing, but for a lot of us, this crafting is what has got us through this pandemic. This desk and
Mhm.
this space is what has got me through, that is for sure. And the friends that I've made online. So yeah, I wouldn't take it personal, media. I really, really wouldn't. Okay, so I'm going to give my cat blue eyes. Blue eyes.
Yeah, and also people will hate just because people get bored, etc. So
Yeah, it could be a case of jealousy, it could be a case of not understanding.
yes.
Sometimes people say something and they don't realize that it's coming across as being mean. They don't
hmm
mean to be mean.
We have to just keep doing what we love, and that's the important thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's important if you have found something that gives you joy, to
Mm.
not allow those comments to take that joy away.
Of course. Also, Nikki, she's saying it's very therapeutic and you have beautiful gifts to give to your loved ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
also, Irena, crafting is what keeps a lot of people sane. It's good for mental health and it's just plain fun.
oh, absolutely.
Hmm
I, I've I've often wondered what people who don't craft do. I mean, there's only so much TV you can watch and um, things like that. Let's give him a purple hat. Um, I'm not much of a TV person either. I'm not much of a YouTube watcher. So, unless, of course, I'm looking for ideas on how to do something or help on how to fix something, um, um, you'll usually find me, there's that song, you'll always find me in the kitchen at parties. Well, you'll always find me at my desk at all hours. I should change the lyrics. I have colored Mr. Supervisor. Now let's give Lady Vagabond her purple stockings. So you can see, I'm not even being too careful with my coloring. I'm just coloring here and there. If that's not your style, do your own style. Don't feel like you have to do what I'm doing. This is an idea. It's an inspiration. It's another way to use your stamps. Um, so I just decided that because traditionally us stampers always work on white paper, what would happen if I didn't work on white paper? So here we have working on craft paper today and black as my accent. So two extreme opposites. And now I need a nice color to go behind his skirt. Normally she has purple in there, but I will use the stockings. Let's put pink. Um, so And light colors will always come towards you, and dark colors will go away from you. So I'm just trying to create a bit of a background. And as I said to you earlier, I like to repeat colors, and we've got this red in the house. I'm going to bring some red into the flowers here. Let's bring some turquoise into her outfit. And
In the comments, we have also Anna, who will be live with me tomorrow. Hi, Anna. Hello.
hello, Anna.
Yes, she's so nice, so kind. She's saying when we create with heart and soul. Yes.
Absolutely. Haters are gonna hate. I'm afraid that's just how the world.
Yeah, how it will be forever.
I think some people are happy in their unhappiness,
Yes, that's so true.
And I want to go a bit yellow there and some yellow there, and oh, that is a bullet build. No, a lady has to be ready for any circumstances. Um, and let's make that the same color. And her books. Oh, I love her book corset. It's just so pretty. And let's give some other colors. Whoops, other colors in there. And some highlights. Oh, and her orange hair. My granny was a redhead.
Oh, nice.
So I do like the color of her hair. And okay, that's about it. Now, the one thing I didn't do, or my brother didn't do, is cut this inside bit. So what I do is I chop her arm off at the shoulder. Sounds very dramatic.
Oh, poor Lady Vagabond.
That's okay. I will stitch it back on with some glue.
Yes, of course.
And then I chop her off at the wrist over here.
But
Just
then she will be fine.
some quick surgery.
Yes, exactly.
Paper surgery. There we go. So now I have my Lady Vagabond, and my cat has disappeared into my Bermuda Triangle. He was here. I colored him and everything. I showed you. Oh, did he go in the pile over here? No. Where did he go? Ah, he'll turn up. But let me get all of these things out of the way. If necessary, I will color another one. It didn't take me that long. Oh, it's on my lap. There we go.
That's nice.
Okay. So now we have, let's find some beautiful place to get lost. And hmm, okay, how are we doing for time? We've done an hour. Okay, so I think I'll just do those three. Now let's just glue them all together. So I've got this one that's layering on that one on there. Then I've got just the airship on there. And to glue it together, I'm going to use my favorite glue.
Oh, extra forte.
Don't know what I did before I came across this. Now I see that the other piece needs just
Tamar is saying Belinda is pulling a Tamar classic. Losing things in the midst of a live is my speciality.
I think anybody doing a live, it's just one of those things. You try and be so organized, and then you just put something down and it's gone. And you only have this much space. I mean, really, how can it be gone? Then again, I'm going to use some of this ultra sticky stuff. I don't know where I got this from. It's like marshmallow, but it works. And I just like to give extra dimension if I can. If you don't like doing the foam tape, you don't have to do it. But it just, in my mind. So that one is now good to go. And then we just need to glue this one. And I think I'm going to make this one look a bit more tattered,
Mm-hmm.
worn. And in fact, I did that once for my mother-in-law. I made her a card where I very carefully rolled and glued things like this. And she very carefully, when she took it out of the envelope, she thought she had destroyed it.
No.
And she was very carefully trying to fix it and make it flat. Like, no, it's
No.
part of the charm. She wasn't impressed.
I can imagine her trying so hard to have everything heaven, etc.
Oh, shame. I really felt bad. I thought, oh, okay. So that just gives it a little bit more. Yeah. So,
Then we have Monica who's saying dimension is good, another layer to add interest. That's true.
yes, it can't be too much if it's still got to fit in an envelope. So that's the one thing that I am being careful of. Um, Perhaps this one I can put in something different. And because I've got different layers, it works. I can still read it. I can just see that there. There we go. So building different layers of interest. And then on this one, I'm going to use, I have, basically when I've been doing all my other art journaling and things, I have an envelope, plastic envelope, that any of the long strips I put in here. And any of the other pieces. So if I've been cutting out things, I keep these pieces because quite often we need them as just another layer in the project.
Jermaine is saying beautiful. They're loving it, really.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Jane is saying they are looking fabulous. I'm sure anyone would be very happy to receive them. Thanks for sharing, Belinda.
Oh, thank you. So now something, when you tear paper, now I want the white edge on both sides. So I'm just going to turn it upside down and tear it this way. And I'm going to use a little bit of brown ink on the edges just to age it a little bit.
And also Anna is saying I'm struggling to make flat project. Always end up with lots of layers and dimensions.
I know, but if it's got to go through the post, and this is something that one of my
Yeah.
American friends was telling me, the minute she puts anything with, in fact, even the one with the foam tape, they charge that as a parcel. If it's not a flat thing in an envelope, it's charged extra. So
Whoa.
that is something to be aware of if you are actually going to be posting this and not seeing the person and giving them their gift. So somewhere in here I have the small version of that. That. Let's have them down here. Maybe that like that. Not enough contrast. these. And that's going to be better. I'm trying to get it so that it's a bit more like a jigsaw puzzle. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to just mark that one there. And there. Snap it off. And then we will have 3 different cards that we have done this afternoon with hopefully some new techniques that people will have learned.
Anna replied that, in fact, every time that she sends an envelope with one of her projects, in the end she always get a parcel because it's not enough flat.
No, it is a problem.
Hmm.
It can cost you quite a lot of money if you're not careful by putting too many layers on.
Hello, Shirin. Hello to people who's joining us now. Hello.
We're almost done. Belinda,
Yes,
we're done.
and still they are joining this live. Hello. Don't forget to like and share this live
Don't
to win
forget to
the
like and
pizza box.
share. Now I need to make sure that I put glue on this decapitated arm. And Mr. Vagabond Cat, the supervisor, always checking on me. And then for something different, I'm going to use, because I've got only the gold there, I'm going to just edge my card with the Tarantica. And then of course I would glue these down onto those bases that I cut earlier.
Oh, Tamara is saying you gotta have the supervisor, I think, for your envelope.
Oh yes, I have been known to stamp on my envelopes and decorate my envelopes. That doesn't seem to matter. So as long as they can read the address, you can actually stamp and decorate your envelopes as well, which for me just makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. I've done the edge, which you can see in the light.
Oh,
Lady
that's great.
Vagabond has been colored in on the craft. The supervisor, come focus. Okay,
He's so cute.
there we go. So
He's
that
so
is 3 fast cards with some different techniques for this afternoon.
Oh, they are so beautiful.
And of course, you've still got lots more that you can do and build. So we've got this piece, and we can have that, for example. So the you can build and layer and create to your heart's content, and that is you.
Oh, so cute.
So I hope that inspired some people today
I
to
think a lot of them. I think a lot of them.
use their their products in different ways. And yes, it doesn't have to take you a whole afternoon um, to make, yes, a pop-up card and a this and a that. Sometimes it's nice just to have something simple. Sometimes there's that English saying less is more. So that's me for today.
Huh. Do you want to join me in the front camera so we can say goodbye to everyone
Yes,
with our faces?
yes. I will just change the camera around.
Perfect.
So hope I don't make everybody giddy. Let's see.
No, of course
Oh,
not.
can I get it unstuck from? I made sure it wouldn't fall. There we go.
Here we are.
And I'm back.
And hello again. They
Hello.
really loved your project. Really, it was. Oh, they're so cute. Perfect. Thank you so much, Belinda. Thank you to our friends for following us and everything.
Always
And
amazing. The support every day is just so
yes,
awesome. We
yes.
really, really, as the makers, we really
Mhm.
appreciate it.
And of course, if they scroll the comments, they will find all your social media, all your blogs, everything, so they can follow you and see your amazing project and be inspired once again.
Yes, and be ready for Tamar's work tomorrow.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
look at all the hearts. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again, everybody, and see you during next live.
See you soon.
Bye.